I don't have my headphones on because somebody around me has a ham radio and it interferes with them. So, how's my volume? You will hear the heat pump trying desperately to heat my trailer down, cool it down. But how's my volume? It sounds okay. Holy moly, does it sound like I'm redlining or is it sounding pretty good? Hey, Grateful Life. Good to see you. So, hello, Grateful Life. Hello, Leanie Bo. Harmony, hello. Holy moly. Give me a thumbs up or a KK or something. Let me know how my volume. Holy crap. So, let me know, please. It's a little low. Okay, I might have to go break out my headphones, which is just going to be a whole nightmare. Hold on, let me turn off the. I might have to break out my. All right, is that any better or no? Hello, Loyal Warrior. Good to see you. I am trying to get my volume adjusted. Be honest. If you can't hear me, you can't hear me. If I'm redlining, I'm redlining. So please let me know. It's about the same. Okay. Let me go grab my my wireless headphones. Hold on. So, Leanie, can you tell everybody what I'm doing? Or holy moly, I mean. Does anybody else have an opinion on the volume? Sorry, I know, it's a clusterfuck. Welcome to my life. Hold on, I need to go get them and pray to God they're charged. I guess I could grab my other ones. Hold on. Let's see. You can hear me, Harmony? It's not too bad. So, hey, Jarella. So my question is do I need to go grab my little headphones that I wear, or can you guys hear me good enough? Because what I don't want to do is redline, but also what I don't want to do is where it sounds like and you have no idea what I'm saying. Volume's good for Leanie. Holy moly says it's not that bad. Harmony says she can hear me. Grateful Life, you can hear me? Okay, good. If it ever gets bad, give me a thumbs down. So we'll give it a couple more minutes and see if anybody else shows up. And then, so I'll get stuff already. I finally got an actual notebook to write all my thoughts down when I'm listening to Chins. Does anybody else think she's lost her mind? Hey, Glasgow Gangster, good to see you. Hey, Deshaun. Hello. Deshaun, did you like how it was all awesome and cloudy this morning and a reasonable temperature, and then at the end of the day it got like sunny and really warm? Oh good, thank Glasgow Gangster. Oh good, Deshaun says I sound okay. Yeah, so just so everybody knows, I'll tell you, hey Blondie, good to see you. Let me go, okay. I'll take a picture of what the kitchen looks like now. It's an absolute shit show in here. Let's see, where was I going with that? So, back in 2020, before the coup hit and when everybody got locked down, Mr. Grebo in his 40s had a heart attack. Like, before the lockdown, I was in a cardiac unit for over a week with Mr. Grebo freaking out. Like, you know, it wasn't good. And so what I did is I ordered in a whole lot of groceries, like a ridiculous amount of groceries, because I had no idea what was going on. I wasn't exactly thinking clearly. And then get him home from the hospital, and like a week later, the lockdown happens, right? And so on the front end, I got a bunch more groceries. And let's just say at this point, I still have a ridiculous amount of processed boxed food that desperately needs to be used up. Because I got a lot of box stuff, like Mr. Grebo likes brownies, so every time I saw them on sale, I was buying brownie mix. And so, you know, this stuff expired. It's still good. It only expired last year. So that's why I'm constantly making box brownies. And I have some apple pie. I actually canned this up last fall. Maybe this year I'll stream. Well, we're canning. And so Mr. Grebo made the comment like, gosh, apple pie'd be nice. So I'm going to, and then in the freezer I had some pie crusts that have been frozen and they need to get used up. Pretty much the same as last time. Slowly cleaning out the freezer. So that's what's going on there. Let's see, Blondie, Sean. Yeah, Mr. Grebo had a full-on, it was a story. Like he kept saying, I don't feel good. I don't feel good. And I rode in the back of an ambulance for years. I was on a fire department, and I told him what was going on. He would not listen to me. We got in a raging fight at 2 a.m. I called and woke his father up, said what was going on. Well, Mr. Grebo got mad and stormed out, right? So I went to bed. I get up the next morning at 8 in the morning, and I'm like, where's Mr. Grebo? I get a text. Hey, I'm at the ER. The fuck? So I'm bombing to the ER. I get another text. They're transferring me. I'm going to X hospital, Portland, blah, a better hospital. Turns out his dad did call him, told him what he thought. Mr. Grebo then went to a walk-in clinic, which immediately sent him by ambulance to a close-by hospital, which immediately sent him by ambulance to a major cardiac unit. Men. I'm going to move my phone over here so I can see what you guys are saying without having to look sideways. So anyway, that's my story. Yeah, I'm glad Mr. Grebo's doing better. It's, yeah, holy moly. I know how you feel about this. There are not words to describe. Well, there are words, but they're not appropriate for YouTube. So anyway, that's how I ended up with a metric fuck ton of boxed and processed food that now needs to be used up 3 years later because, so that's my story. I'm sticking to it. Okay. Hello, Frosty the Hoe Man. Good to see you. We'll give it a couple more minutes to see if anybody shows up. And then, it's okay. So one more time, I'm going to check. Does it sound like I'm yelling or can you hear me okay? And then I'm going to break into my notes and cooking because I've got some stuff to say. Oh, and everybody watch my short from today. I was very proud of myself. Yeah, everybody overbought. And the funny thing is so I'm from Alaska. I was raised, on boats, logging camps. I am used to, like, when you go grocery shopping, you buy for 3-4 months at a time, right? I am very used to not having fresh vegetables. Always canned stuff in Alaska. I mean, for God's sake, I'm from an island in the middle of nowhere. So it's no problem. I still shop that way. Hey, Vivian or Violet, good to see you. And so I have always shopped that way. And so I already had what you would call a really good haul for a tugboat in my apartment. And then you add, what was going on. I mean, I buy 2 cases of toilet paper at a time. Like the entire panini. I didn't have to buy, I buy toilet paper like once a year. And I still haven't ran out. So that's how I run my life. So it made absolutely no difference to me, really. It is what it is. So that's my story. Hey, Dixie. Thank you, Jarella. Yeah. Dixie, I missed you all very much. Not in a sexual way. You know what? I am really, really loving the fact that all of you are here, but not in a sexual way. I mean, who the fuck says that when talking about an animal? Like, seriously. I'm sorry, I'm probably going to be dropping some F-bombs. If you are easily offended, I am not your cup of tea. But, I mean, who speaks like that? It's ridiculous. Oh, I love my cat. Oh, but not in a sexual way. She loves Sam, but not in a sexual way. Anyway. Let's see. Yeah, Jarella, exactly. You have a big... Yep. It's like I was raised just because if it's crappy weather, you could be... Because of the weather, you might not be able to get out of where you're living for 2 weeks at a time. 2 months at a time. So that's just how we grocery shop, All right. Hey, Ponderous Pros, good to see you. You're baking too. Oh, you're making... Oh, fresh fruit tart topped with blueberries and lemon. You made, wow, that's impressive, Ponderous Pros. I have some pie crust from my freezer. Box brownie mix that's expired by about 18 months. Probably going to be okay. And, but I did can the apples. I have a friend who has an apple tree, and when, you've met her, Snivel and Weasel, when I went to the dollar store with. So she does her canning, and she can only do so. She's not even that big of an apple fan. So when she's done, we can the rest up for me. So we've been doing that for a long time. Yeah, that sounds really good, Ponderous. Don't forget Foodie used to let Sam suckle. Oh, I know. Just, So, okay, we'll get cooking. And I'll start going over my notes. So I did change notebooks, and because of that, I only have my notes since like the end of May, the beginning of May. Hold on, let me see if I can find my old. Hey, Puppy Breath, good to see you. Yes, all the Grebettes are here. Do you pressure can or hot water bath? Hot water bath. I know how to pressure can, but to tell you the truth, I'm terrified. When I was in high school, there some people I was friends with. No, not when I was in high school. The older boys that used to babysit me were in high school. I was in elementary school, and then one of the boys was my age, one was in like junior high, and the other two were older. Well, their mom also canned food. Well, she used to make them watch the pressure cooker, and for whatever reason, all four of them were in there looking around at it when the seal failed, and it shot up through the roof, and then of course the boiling water came shooting out, and all of them, one of them had a strip of burns across his face like that from boiling water. He had closed his eyes in time. One, for whatever reason, I guess they must have instinctively knew it was getting ready to blow, had like, second degree burns, and a few third degrees like this, another one like this. I mean, and I just remember being in elementary school, and it terrified me. And so my grandma would be like, she'd be canning with a pressure cooker and be like, hey, watch that. And I'd sit in the kitchen and cry like a bitch, because I was terrified. So this fall I am going to try to pressure cook can, just in glass jars, but yeah, if anybody's got any, I don't know, Xanax they want to send me, just kidding, but yeah, hopefully. So that's my traumatic stories. Oh, did they? That's awesome. Yeah. Fruit trees, hot water bath canning is just fine. Exactly, Ponderous, except for you can't do meat. And as, I don't know if you guys know this, Mr. Grebo has a fishing habit. I mean, he bought a second glass ply boat. So he catches salmon, and so I want to start canning up salmon, because you can only freeze it so much, like, and it takes up a lot of room, so I want to can the salmon, but you can't water bath meat or fish is meat, so I've got to get okay with the pressure canning, so that's my goal, but I can't promise. Yeah, Jashawn, it's really not that hard to do, just buy a smoker. Oh, we have a smoker, but you can only have smoked fish. Unless you're going to do it like old school where you smoke it into oblivion, it still needs to be refrigerated. It's just, or you smoke it and you can can it, or you can just smoke it, but then it needs to be in the fridge or frozen. It doesn't last long. So I'm looking for a way to wholesale preserve meat that doesn't require electricity in case the power goes out. So yeah, pressure cookers are terrifying. They're very intimidating. Let's see, we have several vacuum sealers too, because yes, Jarella, I get it. It's like, and they always say, oh, I'm doing this for the family. No, you're not. You're just justifying your bad behavior, but okay. Oh, dehydrating. Yeah, I really want to get a dehydrator. Hey, Dax, good to see you. We are just talking about my canning habit, Mr. Grebo's fishing habit, and then we're going to break into foodie. I think I'll give it exactly 3-4 more. Tell Mrs. Dax I said hello too. Let me go look for my other notebook real quick, and then I will start in making what I'm going to make, and we will start, not smack talking, but discussing behaviors we see monetized on YouTube and how they may or may not be maladaptive. So, okay. Hold on. I'm going to go look for the other notebook. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can't find where I left off in this. That's why I really have a foodie only notebook at this point because, let's see, just finally got the, let's see, nope. This is from March. We already went over those. So we already went over the March notes. These notes are from last year. I think, yeah, I may have lost the end of May notes. Well, about a month ago, we had a live, so I probably went over those anyway. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to open this. So anybody that's just rolling in, I'm going to be making some little mini apple pies and then using up a brownie. So what I'll do is, to make like mini apple pies, you need like 2.5 cups of apples, and like a 1/4 cup sugar, and like a teaspoon of cinnamon, and a teaspoon of vanilla, and a pinch of salt, and like 1/8 of a teaspoon, which is also just kind of like a pinch of nutmeg. But this has already been pressure cooked, so we're not actually having to cook these because they're already cooked because of the water bath canning. So we're just more heating them up. But the pie crust, so I'm gonna open this. Okay, the thing I like more than pie are mini pies. Exactly, Ponderous. Ponderous, yes. Hey! Hey, bestie. How's it going? Oh, you know what I'm going to do? Hold on. I have my new oven mitt that I can use. My friend got this for me. Okay, let me get out a bowl and my notes. I'm going to use clear bowl so you can see I have to sit down. Hold on, I have this taped to the wall. Sorry. Okay, I pray this doesn't fall into the sink. Okay. There we go. Okay, so I'm gonna scrape this and I'm going to pull my notes out. And if you say something in chat, you're trying to get my attention, say it. Hey, Edna, good to see you. Just say it about 10 times because I'm watching on my phone. I'm probably going to be pulling photos up on my other iPad. So, and I have a hard time. I can't really answer on my phone when I'm trying to stream. So I'll just have to. Okay, so we'll start with, this is what I'm doing, is I'll do the mini ones in muffin tins. Usually you need a cup that's about like 3.5 inches wide, so to fit in a normal size, so it's a little under, you know, so. So the first thing I'd like to discuss is, did anybody notice from like May 25th through like May 30th or June 1st, Foodie completely, she was uploading pre-recorded videos but went radio silent. So here's the two options, because I don't think for a second she has any kind of visa other than a tourist visa, and that was, so she got it February, so March, April, May, so it was right in the timeline. So I think one of two things happened. Either Foodie border hopped, because I highly doubt she flew all the way back to Canada. I just can't see that without her filming. So I think she did some kind of border hop, got her visa renewed, because I don't think that she did an extension. And here's why, because we're quickly coming up on the 30-day mark. And unless she suddenly goes radio silent, or this Saudi Arabia trip she's talking about soonish happens in the next couple days, I really think that they border hopped, they got her visa renewed, and she came back, and suddenly she was live on June 1st. I think this trip to Saudi Arabia, especially if it happens about let's see, May, June, July. So if this Saudi Arabia trip for this Hajj or whatever she's going on happens at the end of August, funny how that, and we don't know. What's everybody else think about that, you know? So personally, that's what I think is going on. I know there was some talk like, oh, Kuwait has new kinds of visas. I don't think for a second that Chantal would qualify for a sports or cultural type visa, the kind where Kuwait's trying to open up their country to show their country in a good light and stuff like that. You know, that's a new kind. The foreign secretary minister guy, they came up with this new kind of visa, you know, because it's new and it's to show Kuwait in a good light, that they will research the shit out of anybody that applies for those. I cannot for a second think that anybody that's done any research would Google Foodie Beauty, see the things that are available about her online and be like, yeah, this is the person I want to represent, you know, my country, my conservative Islamic country. Just my opinion. Let's see. Did I miss? Let's see. The pros by now. Well, salad having his way. They're married. Yeah, they're just. I would love it if she does get denied. It would be hilarious if she. And so that brings me to. So did you notice? So I'm going to slowly be adding things to the apple pie mix so I can smack talk, if everybody's okay with that. Is the lighting okay in here? There we go. So, all right. So the first thing she says when her first live stream after she disappeared for 5 days, and she was, you know, and anybody that had eyes in their head could see that the videos that she was uploading, because remember when she uploaded the video with that huge croissant, you know, remember that? And it was big. Hello, Oranges Poranges. So you guys remember that? How she uploaded the video with the huge croissant. Her and Salad went to that bakery, and it looked like when he went, she gave him the smallest piece of the croissant, and it looked like she was going to take his arm off when it looked like he was reaching towards that bag. The funny thing is, so that was a pre-recorded video. I don't care what anybody says, it was pre-recorded. The funny thing is, the night before that, Foodie was in Salad's chat while he was gaming. Let me see if I can find the screenshot. And what she said, because as we know, Chantal does not really plan ahead. She's very impulsive, and she tells on herself. What she said the night before, like almost like she knows what video she's going to upload because it's pre-recorded. She says in Salad's chat, and I quote, "I want a croissant." Let me find the screenshot, you guys. I am not kidding. So while Salad was gaming, randomly, the night before the pre-recorded video of Foodie being at a bakery, she says, "I want a croissant." Now, if that isn't foreshadowing that she wants everybody to know that she completely is in Kuwait, not border hopping, and that she wants a croissant, so obviously, because we know how motivated Chantal is, so obviously the night before she says, "I want a croissant," so the next morning she gets up early in the morning, they get the croissant, she comes home and she completely edits together this video just a few hours later. I'm not buying it. Does anybody else remember? What's everybody think? You know, press X to doubt. That's my opinion. Let me see if I can find the actual, it was a little while ago, so let me see if I can find, because I screenshotted, and I know it's like you guys, like I said, you can go back through Chin's video. Let me see if I can find it. Hold on. What I'll do is I'm going into my library. I'll go to the month, and it would have been in May. Let me see if I've got it on this. Okay. Nope. Hold on. I've somehow screwed this up. Hold on. I ended up clear back in. So I'm looking to see. Yeah. So, or do you guys need to see the screenshot, or do you believe me that, you know, that, Okay, why won't it let me? Okay, let me know if you. Okay, I'm in May now. Let me see if I can find the screenshot. It might not be saved on this either. So, okay, I'll look at this in just a second. I'm trying to. Okay, yeah, so right here. So, the night before the pre-recorded video, Chantal is seen saying in Salad's chat, right here, I want a giant croissant. And shockingly, early the next morning, supposedly she gets up, goes to the bakery, edits this whole thing, and throws it up. I mean, it had nothing to do with the fact that she may have border hopped, and that's why she didn't go live. And she didn't pre-record a bunch of videos to throw up sequentially, and she definitely wasn't telling on herself. I don't care what anybody says. Occam's razor, this asshole always tells on herself. She can't tell the truth to save her life. Like, what was it last night? She was saying Pete's is brutally honest. Yeah, Pete's tells Chantal the truth. Like, there's no doubt. Yeah, sometimes he comes across as rather harsh. But Pete's will lie to others. So Pete's may not lie to Chantal, but that is vastly different than the statement Pete's doesn't lie, period. Those are two different things, and there the two will meet, in my opinion. Okay. So, yeah, the Hajj is like 8 miles of walking or something. So that's my opinion. But like I said, Chantal always tells on herself. So I think the fact the night before that she's saying, I want a giant croissant, and then all of a sudden the next morning we get the croissant pre-recorded video. No, I think she was. And that brings me to the other thing, like, these are really bad because this is when she was streaming potato quality, but she was wearing this top. Let me turn the, remember when she went and was doing the camel beeson? And the top, I mean, it was snug, but you could tell in the video, it was kind of flapping though. You know what I mean? It wasn't skin tight. So that was, 3 months ago at that point. But then when her and Salad were at the bakery, magically, because she's still in Kuwait, not border hopping, this is how it looked then. The buttons are straining. So, I don't care what anybody says. So, yeah, you can't see really good when she's out in the desert, but when you watch the video, it's snug. But the buttons are not stretched to within an inch of their life like they are in, 3.5 months later in the bakery video, So that's where I'm at with that one. Good to see you, Egan Fox. Very nice to see you. Hey, Ruthie. Sorry I didn't say hi. Yeah, and here's my deal. Hey, Megan Fox. Good to see you. I said hi to Oranges. Here's my deal with Pete's. Canada has an extremely progressive educational system, and they're the first line of defense a lot of times to catch people that are on the spectrum as far as autistic. But Pete's never got diagnosed. He was never referred or anything. But now as an adult, he's been given the option to go pay for testing himself. I don't care what anybody says. The fact that there was no mention of it from any teachers, he was never evaluated. I don't think for a second that Pete's is autistic. Is he awkward? Fuck yeah, dude's awkward. But does he get to claim autism or disability? There's nothing wrong with the guy. Here's what I think. And I'm not a doctor at all. But I know autism, okay? I know it well. That's all I'm going to say about that. But it's no difference than Chantal. There are deleted videos from 2017 of Chantal stuffing her face in her old red car with the tan interior. She was eating KFC and she was talking about her grandma, and she was talking about how she stopped going to this eating clinic that they had sent her to, and it's because they wouldn't give her the diagnosis that she wanted. She wanted a binge eating order diagnosis and they wouldn't give it to her. So then she stopped going. Fast forward and notice how she's now claiming she has BED. I don't buy it for a second. I think it's Dr. Google, because you know for a fact if she had a scrap of evidence, a receipt, anything, we would see it. So, once again, self-diagnosis. Doesn't mean something's going on, but the fact she got mad at the doctors and stopped going there because they wouldn't give her the diagnosis she wants, because my opinion is she's looking for an excuse. Like, you give me a diagnosis and then I can say, oh, it's not my fault. And what I do know about BED is that people that have it, they're not going to be eaten on camera. It's much the same, it's a shameful hidden. So I don't think she has BED. She's self-diagnosing, and I think to excuse Pete's and his awkwardness, once again, it's an excuse. Dude's a scumbag. Yes, Linda, we had a date. Good to see you. So, yeah, I after that thing with BBJ, I have zero. Yeah, Megan. He's maladapted, and did you see how far he decompensated when he moved in with Chantal? And I suspect the first time they lived together, before she cheated on him, moved out, I suspect it was a similar dynamic. We just got to see it on, live stream. So, and here's what I know is when somebody tells you who they are, believe them, So, let's see. Yeah, so, yeah, internet, Dr. Google. So, yeah, zero mercy from me. I've got other photos, and everybody that's here knows that the scale that Chantal got, I already went over it last live, that the make and model only goes to 180 kilograms, and if you are on any kind of incline and stuff, it's super easy to fool it. So either you can get it to weigh less by, moving yourself around, or when you're getting to the maximum capacity of a scale, it won't, sometimes they won't error out. They'll just weigh, if it's maximum 180 kilograms and you're over 180 kilograms, 372 pounds, it'll just weigh you somewhere slightly below that a lot of the time. That's just how it goes. It can't go that high. So, yeah. Okay, let everybody catch up and chat. I'm just going on. Oh, and here's something else too. And this was back from the end of May. Remember the pre-recorded where she was sitting there eating? She had that whole plate of spaghetti, and she put half of an 8-ounce container of fake Parmesan cheese onto the spaghetti she was eating, but do you see how the blacks aren't black and the color of that? That is a Heritage Parmesan, fake Parmesan cheese shaker, and that is the color it is. It is bright red. It's bright red. And so the fact that it's this muted orange color is because she was messing with her, and see how the blacks aren't black? It's because she's messing with the filters, I suspect, because you could still see where her chin and her cheeks looked pretty red. And it was about the time where it was starting to get really hot, because around the time, the live, I think the next day or 2 days later after she uploaded this filter fucked, live, the first thing she came on and said, was she came on, that's the first live after 5 days, and what she said was, here's how you know it was getting hot over there too, and I suspect she went to Saudi Arabia or wherever she went, border hopped, got her thing, but the first thing, one of the first things she said when she came back on that first live after being gone for 5 days, after putting the I want a giant croissant to foreshadow that she's definitely going somewhere to record, and within 8 hours magically, edits it down and puts out this fully finished pre-recorded video, but she said, wouldn't it be cool if I could just go to Canada and see my family whenever I want? And then one of the other comments she made in this live was, oh, I thought 30 degrees was hot in Canada. It's 42 here right now. This is a month ago. And she was chatting with her chat and talking, she was talking about, how she used to go live 3 times a day in salad. You hear him verbally exclaim, like, what? And she's like, yeah, I used to go live 3 times a day. And he was shocked. you know, like, he just couldn't believe it. Like, when did you do anything else? And then shortly after that, Salad was talking about how his day had gone. And what he said was, oh, I did this and I did that. And then I came here. Talking about Chantal's apartment. He didn't say, because your average person would say, like, if let's say I go to the movie theater. Hey, what'd you do today, Greba? Oh, you know, I was out in my garden, and then I had to go to the grocery store, and then I had to run out to, you know, my sister's, and then I came here. Let's say it's the movie theater. Then I came here. Versus, I did this, I did that, I did this, and then I came home. Like, tell me, is that weird? But most people will say, you know, when you say, I come here, that does not designate home. That designates a place outside of your home versus, and then I came home. Salad did not say, I did this, I did that, and then I came home. He said, I did this, I did that, and then I came here to Chantal's apartment. Sure, he stays there, but I honestly don't. I think he, you know, at least back, you know, a month ago, my 2 cents. The thing she did during that period to make that, yeah. So, but not in a sexual way. So yeah, that was something. And then during that first live, she was sweating profusely, like ridiculously sweating, a lot. Okay, so I'm gonna add like a little less than a teaspoon of cinnamon. I'm gonna add like a teaspoon of vanilla and like a pinch of nutmeg to mix in with the apple. So, and then, yeah, so everybody knows that, you know, like I said, the last time, this is before that first live, but she filtered the hell out of, you know, all the red, and it's because she was red, because it was hot. And then she goes on in that same live, and she was talking about like, oh, I know I can be late. Oh, so that was the first live, and then like the next video she did like that pizza gorge session. Remember, she had those 2 pizzas in front of her. So she had that, and during that one, she said, oh, I know I can be lazy, you know, but now that she's married, she's not lazy. She actually is, you know, taking credit, doing stuff around the house. And then she says, oh, but you know, Salad, he does help me with some things, but he's very understanding my mental health, but I try to push myself, you know. And then she tries to say, oh, and back then when, you know, the villa beezing, or how about when, you know, 3 months ago, 2.5 months ago, she's like, oh, back then my life was so chaotic. You know, so because Salad's sitting there, so basically my life was so chaotic till I got here, you know, to this stable long-term relationship. And it's like, totally, sure, the luxury villa was completely chaotic, but things were stable AF when she was with BB. In fact, that's what made her bored, because he was boring, because things were stable. So once again, you know, magical thinking, rewriting history for the people that have been watching since the beginning, you know, like those very, very early videos 6+ years ago. I remember them. I remember the things she said. How about you? Yeah, now she has a fresher life. That was just a snack. Let's see. Oh, and then and also in that first live beat, something else that she said, you know, when she first came back, and definitely didn't border hop anywhere, and definitely didn't overheat. Something else she said is like, so I made a mistake. You know, I'm like, because the summer here is like unbearable, like especially for someone like me. What she was hinting at was somebody like me, because I'm a Canadian, because then she adds, being overweight doesn't help. So it's like, oh, I'm sweating my ass off in the desert because I'm Canadian. Oh, and by the way, the weight might have something to do with it. I'm sorry, you're carrying around an extra 300 pounds. I'm sure that has a lot to do with the fact that you're overheating. And let's not even talk about hormone issues, because you're, you know, basically postmenopausal because of a hysterectomy. Let's see. Oh, and then so that was the June 1st You know, and then there was that 2 pizza pre-recorded gorge session, and then on June 8th, here, I gotta get something. I'm so busy talking, I'm not doing anything, sorry. And then on June 8th, she had another life session where she was talking about, she said, and I quote, "Oh, I can't believe I haven't come up with merch yet." She's been talking about merch forever. But with salad sitting there, she's trying to make it sound like, you know, that's on the front burner. She's just, you know, it's just crazy. Oh, and then here's something that she said that really, really just, she said cigarettes and shisha aren't the same. I don't care what anyone says. Right there, that's Chantal once again highlighting her magical thinking. I don't care what anybody says. Cigarettes, you are combusting tobacco and inhaling it. A hookah, you are combusting tobacco and inhaling it. It's going through water to cool down the smoke, but you are smoking. And anybody can Google this, and I'm not going to beat a dead horse here, but, you know, an hour hookah session can be worth upwards of, you know, 50 to 100 cigarettes. So shisha is not vaping. Vaping is vaping. That's where they heat it up to the point where it basically it vaporizes and you inhale it, which is not the same as smoking. Smoking is combustion. Vaping is vaporizing. Those are 2 very different things. So don't be so disingenuous. But then she says, "Oh, I don't care what anyone says." So right there, she knows she's lying, and she doesn't care what anybody said, because once again, that's what happens when nobody tells you no your entire life. You end up a spoiled, self-centered, entitled asshat. The arrogance of her. Have you guys ever heard of there's like 6 steps of arrogance? Let me see if I think I might have a screenshot. So, okay. So you tell me, so do you think Chantal is, you think Foodie Beauty is confident or arrogant? So, right here, the arrogant spectrum. Oops, as I move past it. Hold on, I just closed out. The arrogant spectrum, you know, the beginning part. Distorted information and limitations in abilities. 2, overestimation of one's information and abilities. 3, resistance to new information about one's limits. 4, failure to consider the perspective of others. 5, belief or assumption of superiority. And 6, the top level on the arrogant spectrum, denigration of others. Chantal, you are not self-confident. You are not in control. You are arrogant. And those self-control, confident, and arrogance are 2 very different things. You know, distorted information and limitation in abilities. So right there, I don't care what anyone says, you know. Distorted, she distorts information. She, you know, oh, I can do this, I can do that. The denigration of others. Need I go into that? So anyway, I don't need to beat a dead horse, but yeah, look it up. Chantal is not confident regardless of what she says. She is arrogant. And that's never a good idea, especially somebody that's super morbidly obese, that is middle-aged, that has had a full hysterectomy, that is smoking and vaping all day, every day, eating 5-6 times the amount of sodium. Things are not going to turn out well, my opinion. Chantal is arrogant. Sorry. Yeah, she's manipulative, and that's part of her arrogance. And she thinks she's the smartest cat in the room. Au contraire, mon frère. No. For me, I don't know. I wasn't around for childhood. Do I think she had a bunch of trauma? No more than anybody else. I think she was somebody who wasn't told no. She was told she was so cute. She thought she was special. She's like 12. Mummy's remarried and has another baby. Chantal tries to literally torture her toddler sister to the point where her mother has her removed from the house. you know? So that tells you what kind of person she is right there. Somebody that was, I'm putting just a little bit of salt, pinch of salt. Yeah, removed from the home. Let's see. What else did I? Oh, let me see. I'm going to look at chat for a second. Let's see. Hey, Aaron Tay. We are, Mr. Grebo said he kind of remotely wanted some apple pie, so I'm going to make some mini apple pies and use up some more pie crust. I told a big long story about I have a ridiculous store of food that needs to get used up because of the coof and some other life stuff. You know, I had a lot of stuff in a, you know, pantry setting in a 525 square foot apartment. Oh my God. Let's see. Contrary. Arrogant. Yeah, she's arrogant and delusional. Yeah, and that she does. She tries to infantilize herself, you know, like where she goes, hey, she does that, you know, red face and stuff. And so, you know, when she was a kid, that was cute, and that got a, oh, cutie. And then as she got older, her family kept in that vein, and nobody shamed her or called her out. And so this behavior continued. And then by the time they realized what a monster they had created, you know, they let her loose on the world and just kept enabling her. And we've seen her out with Auntie Rasta. The shit that fell out of Auntie Rasta's mouth about other cultures and using young men for her own, just inappropriate. Apple doesn't fall far from the tree, man. So, okay, I'm going to add a quarter cup of sugar, probably not quite a quarter cup. I'll do it to taste, so yeah, I'm going to have to taste this a little bit. I'm going to do like, well, I'll get a quarter cup in here, and then I'll, you know, sprinkle it in, mix it up, and see. So, let's see, yeah, Foodie Senior, exactly. Auntie Rasta is, ugh, like, you know, but it's funny. And have you noticed, remember how Chantal, when she was over there, when she was still in the tiny place, how she unloaded and was really crappy to Auntie Rasta in the chat and kind of shut her down? I haven't seen Auntie Rasta back in her chat since then either. Has anybody else? Many adults will continue the juvenile behaviors that work. Exactly. And so if you are not called out, and then when you take somebody as arrogant as Chantal that has not had to really face any consequences, she, you know, and as much as she likes to talk about how worldly and stuff she has an incredibly small world. She is not well traveled. She is not well versed. English 8 major, my ass. I seen. Oh, I seen it. Are you kidding me? My grandma would slap the smug out of my mouth if I ever said I seen. And there's no problem. Like I said, I know people that speak like that. She doesn't get to say she's an English major because she went to school for less than one semester. Oh, and that brings me to the whole BBJ thing. I'm going to say this one. Pete and Shannon have said she got BBJ at the very end of 2005. And by the time she got rid of BBJ, that was a little over 17 years. I don't think she got an elderly cat or anything. Vets in general say, oh, the cat's about a couple of years old because once they get so old, they can't tell, so they guess a couple of years. I'm going to guess BBJ was not even 2 years old, so at the most, I'm going to guess BBJ's maybe 18, maybe 18 and a half. Either way, Chantal has not had the cat for 19 years, and the cat is not 21 years old. Full stop. She's full of shit. Once again, Chantal, right here, resistance new, failure to consider, overestimation of one's ability, distorted information. Once again, she's rewriting history, you know, to make her look less terrible. So, I know I'm ranting, sorry, yeah. No, Auntie Rasta. Nope, Auntie Rasta has not been, and my chat is a little bit behind, so I'm sorry if I'm, hold on, I'm going to try to forward it and see if I can catch up. So, yeah. Okay, I now have to take a bite and see what this tastes like. Hopefully I didn't, I need to add, and basically if you don't cook much for apple pies, you add a tiny bit of flour. You can use cornstarch flour because that helps thicken it up when it's baking. And that's usually for raw apples. These are already baked because they're canned, but still, I don't want them runny. So, let's see. Thank you, Ruthie. Yep, thank you, Jashawn. Yep, BBJ. I'm just glad that it's like, yeah, it's just, she's, and that's just it. And it's unfortunate. Yeah, can the kiwi farms be kind of a pain in the butt at times? But it's unfortunate they're only do Tor right now and not on ClearNet, because there's a lot of information that's archived there. But, you know, and she got rid of a lot of videos before the farms even started archiving her stuff. Like, I don't think they have a copy of the one in early 2017 where she's sitting in her car and talking about this eating disorder clinic, and they wouldn't give her the diagnosis she want, which was BED. So, you know, that's since been deleted. But I, not for a second, will believe anything her or Pete says until I see actual paperwork. She's sure good at pulling up receipts when it suits her narrative, but suddenly it's private, you know, when anybody else asks for proof. Okay, I'm going to taste this. See if I'm going to add a little more sugar. It's pretty good, though. So, hey, EP, good to see you. Thank you, Deshaun. Exactly, Ponderous. It's like, hey, Rip Curl, good to see you. Thank you for showing up. I'm on a rant. And here's what Chantal does with her family. She seems to think if she says it loud and proud with her whole chest, it makes it the truth. Just because you say something with confidence or fake confidence does not mean that you are not a disingenuous fuck who is trying to rewrite history. Please. You don't have an ED diagnosis. Pete's not autistic. Once again, excuses, you know? Dr. Google. And I will say this 1,000 times about Chantal. A thought not followed by an action means nothing happens. And number two, your mental health, your mental illnesses or whatever, your mental health might not be your fault. Bad mental health might not be your fault, but it is your responsibility. It is never an excuse for bad behavior. Full stop. So, yeah, it's like Chantal is just, she's everything she pulls out is straight out of the Addict Playbook 101. You know what I mean? The blame game, the pointing fingers. It's just, so, okay. Let me taste this. I'm going to go through a lot of spoons. I'm going to add a tiny bit more sugar because I want these to be really sweet. So that's about a 1/4 cup. Let's see. So, oh, and then, so something else. So that's when she said she hadn't come up with merch. Let's see. Oh, and then after that Titan sub, you know, did everybody know the Titan submersible that was very unfortunate and 5 people were unalived? You know, so her chat was talking about this. This is like that happened on Father's Day, June 18th. So it was around the 20th. She had a live stream, and she said, she was talking about the Titanic and how deep it was and stuff. And she's like, oh, you know, going down in that thing sounds like unaliving yourself, right? Totally callous comment. And then she says, oh, yeah. You know how Foodie gets, where she's like, oh, yeah. And she goes, you know, oh, yeah, the Titanic's really deep. You have no idea how deep it is. It's deeper than the Burj Khalifa, and that's the tallest building in the world. Fucking serious? It's taller than the Burj Khalifa. You know, it's deeper than the Burj Khalifa. The Burj Khalifa is like, what, 2,700 feet tall? For people not in America, that's like 820 meters tall. The Titanic is at like 12,500 feet, which is closer to like 3,500 meters. So comparing the depth of the Titanic to, oh, it's deeper than the Burj Khalifa, you know, the tallest building in the world, that is something a 3rd grader would say. Like on a scale of like 0 to I'm a fucking retard, she's at an 11. Like, she's dumber than a box of rocks. I eat toast with a higher IQ than Chantal. just mind-blowingly dumb, you know. And I think the deal with that, and like anybody that wants to get mad because I use the word retard, that's associated with IQ. The deal with Chantal is she overestimates, hey, like this says, belief or assumption of superiority, overestimation of one's abilities. Chantal thinks she's smarter than she is, and she has a serious case of verbal diarrhea. Remember how she used to kind of edit herself? She would cover her mouth, oh, I'm sorry, and excuse herself, you know, when she would do things. She's been streaming for so long that she's got incredibly comfortable. You know, when you get comfortable with somebody, you know, like when you first start dating somebody, you know, it's like you're on your best behavior, you dress up, you know. For women out there, you know, I never use the bathroom. I haven't in my entire life. And there's certain things you just don't let other people know about. Well, her mask has slipped. And now she has like a case of verbal diarrhea where she thinks a thing and it falls out of her mouth because the part of her brain that censors things, that filters it, it's been disengaged. She's gotten far too comfortable. She's too comfortable. It's like an old school relationship, you know? And so she thinks a thing and it falls out her mouth. And she's so used to not having to think about things. And one thing I would say about Salad is, I don't care what anybody says, his comprehension of English is limited. Like, he speaks very well. But when she talks to him, he has a limited understanding. So he has not watched any of her old videos, I'll guess. He probably hasn't been to the farms, nothing. Because it's in English. So I think he speaks very well, but I think his comprehension is not that good. So he has no idea who he's shacked up with. Do I 1,000? Here's something else. Conspiracy theory. Let's see. Oh, is Goose Chuck here? Wait, Goose Chuck. Ooh, what are you having? Oh, wait, is Goose Chuck eating? What are you eating? Oh, hey, Angela G. So let me look and see who's here. I've been just ranting on. I'm sorry. Hey, I said hi to Aaron Tay, I said hi to Deshaun, I said hi to Angela G. Hey, Rip Curl, I said hi to you. Ruthie, I said hi to Holy Moly, Oranges, Megan Fox, EP. Dax was here. Okay. Did I miss anybody that's currently here? So, the thing with Chantal, okay, what was I saying? Because it's important. I was talking about her low IQ, Salad. Oh, does anybody remember last year when it was post-Natter and she was going to Montreal or Toronto or somewhere and she's talking about how she met this is completely just me trying to connect the dots. Is this true? I don't know. Highly suspect though. Remember she said, I met an older man. He was really nice. He wasn't into her that way, but she had a nice night. And he was the uncle in Canada who had a younger nephew who was out of country, that was in the Middle East somewhere. Does anybody remember that? It was from a live stream she was talking about, and the uncle was saying, you know, maybe and so just part of me is like, because she's always talking about how Salad has family in Canada, so part of me is thinking like, yeah, maybe they finally started talking on WhatsApp or whatever, but part of me is wondering, you know, well, is the uncle, this older man that's living in Canada, is that Salad's uncle? Is that the relative? I'm just curious, like, did uncle hook him up? Did she actually find him? I don't know. It just seems odd that he got her number off of the WhatsApp and he was the first person to call and she got no other phone calls and then she removed her number real quick. That's not how it works. I have a friend who we jokingly made her a profile like on Plenty of Fish and she uploaded it and 40 seconds later there were over 32 like text response immediately, and then we immediately deleted it. We just wanted to see. So I don't know. Her story's just not adding up, but I don't know. What do you guys think? Yeah, he wanted her to meet his nephew. Yeah, do you guys remember that? What did Goose Chuck spell something wrong? I'm making angel hair pasta. Are you making angel hair pasta with butter, onion, garlic, and Parmigiano Reggiano? Is it actual Parmesan Reggiano, or are you using shaky cheese like Chantal and then going to filter the fuck out of yourself so the jar's not even red? People that were here earlier get that joke. That sounds good, Goose Chuck. Anyway, so anybody that remembers that live where she was talking about the uncle who had a nephew, a younger nephew, and she made the comment, oh, he's younger than me. So I see at least one person that remembers that. So if you remember that, put a green heart in the comments. So I think EP said she remembered it. They remembered it. Yeah. Yep, Blondie remembers. Yep, Jashawn. Foodie said the other day that salad doesn't need. Yep, he has other people. Yeah, so that's what I'm thinking. I don't think they randomly met on WhatsApp or wherever she put the dating. I think it was through the uncle. And remember how she was supposedly going to rent that place and then it fell through and blah, blah, blah. I still think that's somehow connected too. As far as I think she knew she was going to send Salad money. I think she knew there was no mansion she was moving into. I think potentially she met Salad through the uncle who lives in Canada. Yep, that's what I think. Okay, let me taste this real quick. Yeah, see? I agree. Okay, that might be a little sweet. Wasn't the married guy the uncle? Something like that. It was like there was a married guy and then there was an uncle. So it's just a little sus. Because any woman and it doesn't matter what you look like. If you put yourself out there on a dating site, you're not just going to get one text from one guy because you put your phone number up and then delete that profile and not get any other text. That's complete total bullshit. We know it. So, okay. I think this is going to taste pretty good. Yeah, it's pretty good. I'm going to add a touch more sugar because Mr. Grebo, I'm trying to, he's kind of getting a belly on him and I'm worried. You know, he needs to not, so if I make him a sweet treat, hopefully he'll just have one instead of like, you know, the entire thing. And his cardiologist said he needs to work on losing a little weight too. So, okay. All right. Okay, so now that we've got that, so, but yeah, so the Burj Khalifa versus how deep the Titanic is. That's a magnitude order larger chins, dumbass. So, yeah, and I already talked about how she made the mistake of being there. Cause so I think for a hot minute, I think instead of border hopping, I think originally Chantal wanted to go home to Canada because it is hot. But I do think that at the re-up time, she ended up border hopping instead because I think she has honestly put on so much weight. Here, let me pull this up and then I'll cut my pastry dough. But anybody that knows anything about anything, let me see if I can find. I have some photos from her when she was at her highest weight, supposedly. This one, yeah, like this is right around her when she was at her highest weight. You know, she snapped this screenshot of herself. And so you can't tell me that she's now supposedly 40, 50 pounds less than that currently. I don't believe for a second, because when she turned the live she had like last night when she turned sideways, you know, first of all, there's a lot of pills. I don't think she's washing her get up, but you know, so she had a Jay Leno chin in this, and you can see, you know, right there that she's got the face spanks going. I honestly, when you compare her now with when she was at her highest weight at, you know, 402, or even when she weighed herself that one time, you know, and was like 368, there's no way she has lost weight. She is markedly bigger now. Like when her and Salad were doing that whole Eid thing, like what was up? Like, you know, she's got that thing. That's the sideways view. She's massive. She's put on weight. She's delusional, like beyond belief. I don't even know where I'm going with this. It's like, she's to the point where like, I just hope she's streaming when retribution comes a knocking. I want to see it. Yeah, she's definitely got bigger. I don't care what anybody says. And just the Jay Leno chin it's gotten out of control. Like every time she turns sideways because she is so filtered, you know, it gives her that weird Jay Leno chin. Yeah, it's just weird. Let's see. the 6H, the Burj Khalifa, the shisha. Oh, and then, like last night, once again, this goes back to Chantal and her disinformation or rewriting, or she doesn't care if she doesn't care about reality. Because somebody, you know, last night stream said, oh, you know, what are my favorite nuts? Peanuts. Well, that's a legume, but whatever, it's nuts. Like that right there, it's just proof that facts mean nothing to Chantal, you know. But, oh, before I forget, when she was talking about basement dwelling weirdos, I so seriously want to make hoodies at some point that say basement dwelling weirdo on the back. Like, tell me that wouldn't be fucking hilarious to have hoodies that say basement dwelling weirdo on the back. And I don't know, we could put Greebets on the front, or Hater Nation, or Girl World, or I don't know. I think it's a good idea. Oranges, poranges, from what we've been through, we deserve to see it. Yeah, exactly. The cat thing. Exactly, Goose Check. That'd be awesome. My channel's never going to be monetized, but it doesn't mean we can't like crowdsource. I could through my community tab, and we could potentially, because if you know, because you want to have more than a dozen ordered, because you got to pay for the screen print to be burned. But you know, we could probably get it down to where if we just do it at cost, where we might be able to get the hoodies for like $35, maybe $40 total plus shipping. You know, everybody have to prepay, so I can pay the silk screen guy and then ship them out. But it's something we can work, because I would love a hoodie that says basement dwelling weirdo, you know. Or maybe all the small channels could band together and we'll all put out basement dwelling weirdo merch. I think it'd be hilarious. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the cup and I'm going to cut little circles from my frozen pie crust that needs to be used up, because as I've said, being from Alaska, when I grocery shop for a year at a time. You know, expiration dates, just a suggestion. And yeah, fresh fruit and vegetable is a luxury where I'm from. That's why I'm growing a garden, because it's awesome to be able to grow that stuff. Can you guys still hear me okay? Let's see. I'm trying to see. I know I had some more notes, but I'm not quite sure. Let's see. Right. Yeah. Let's see. If you just printed out iron on decals for shirts, it would cut costs. Oh, that's an idea. So yeah, what I'll do is one of these days is we'll I don't know, we'll put together a Discord server or something, so we can figure out how we're gonna oh, I need to preheat the oven 425, because heating it up in here is a good idea. Not. All right, 425. I need to make sure Mr. Grebo. We all know Mr. Grebo. Yeah, so maybe we'll get a Discord server or something so we can all voice chat about it. I think it would be hilarious to have basement dwelling weirdo hoodies. And it doesn't even have to say Greebet on the front. We could just leave it at basement dwelling weirdo. Minus the R. Oh, good. Let's see. Thank you, Linda. Gross equals fabulous. Ha! Right? Who am I? And then touch the food. I gotta wash my hands now. That's gross. She's just... but you can tell she's desperate. Oh, and that's the other thing. Like, her views are down by a solid 2/3. And the Salad and Chantal channel, you can tell that she's desperate. Do I think she's destitute? No, she has enough to pay her bills because she's ducking. I don't think she's actually, maybe she's making minimum payments to Leafland, but I don't know. And the thing is, what I know, like the CRA, and I'm sure you've heard it before, is it's not like the IRS. They don't threaten. It's just eventually they show up and they'll just freeze her accounts, PayPal, everything. She won't be able to get a dime Nobody would even be able to wire her money. They'll shut it all down until she calls and talks with them and works out. And so, you know, will they do that to her? Maybe. But I'm telling you, when the CRA, the Canadian Revenue Authority, comes after you, that's all she wrote for chins. So is she making minimum payments? I think if she was, she'd be bragging more about it. I don't think she actually is. You know, and as far as her bankruptcy, we know that she never dealt with that. So, like I said, chins is circling the drain, in my opinion. Okay, so I need to cut out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Need to cut out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 12 little circles for the. I'm gonna roll them out just a tiny bit too, so that they. All right, so that's 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 8. So let me pull the other one out, then I'll roll this out and we'll do the top. So I have to stand like this because, believe it or not, I'm actually really tall. Everybody thinks I'm like 5'1", 5'2". Psst. I wish. I'm actually tall. Taller than average, that's for sure. So, and then let me see if I can get this upward. But I want you, I'd rather, people, I'm assuming, want to see the cooking part, so you don't need to see me. You know what I look like. You know, and I blink a lot. Tourette's. I hate it. Nothing I can do about it. Okay, let's see. Oh, and I forgot to talk about this was, oh, no, never mind. I think I did talk about how she was talking about how her life used to be so chaotic. No, we did discuss that. So, let's see. But wasn't there something initially about her setting up bank to send Salah or something? Yeah, supposedly, like, she sent, like, $9,000 to him or something. I think Allah or Murad, one of those guys said something. And so that's where, and this is just getting into shit talking at this point, you know. I always tell Chantal, keep on chirping, pheasant. So that's kind of what I'm doing here. I'm just chirping. But I do think, there might be something to it, like that supposed money that she sent for a deposit for the mansion she was going to move into. I think that was all just a front for her to. I think she might have sent money to Sal. And like I said, I don't know. I think it's all related, but that's just me. Once again, I'll say it. Occam's razor. Here's what I know about Chantal. Chantal lies, and Chantal is lazy. So the thing that takes the least amount of effort really ultimately is how it will roll with Chantal. You know, she's not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. She's not gonna go, you know, she's not gonna go ham, but I'm bunch. You know, and putting effort into stuff. But, you know, maybe two things can be true at once. You know, maybe she did put money down on a mansion that turned out not to happen. Okay. I'm gonna roll these a little bit, and then I'm gonna save the rest of the dough for doing the top. Where's my... I have more photos too, but like I said, let's see what everybody else. So not an ongoing money transfer, so CRA couldn't take it. Well, that's just it. So the thing is with monetization for YouTube, which I'm sure everybody knows this, but you know, your country of origin is where your bank needs to be. You cannot transfer your monetization to a third party, so she can't transfer to Sala. And since she's registered in Canada, she would have to demonetize herself and reapply to the partnership program if she tried to move her bank to Kuwait. So the CRA still has access to her funds. And, you know, so YouTube will put it into her bank. But that's what the CRA does, is they will shut down your credit cards. They will shut down your PayPal. They will shut down your bank account. And you'll get a phone call from somebody saying, okay, asshole, you ready to work with us now? So, is MCM here? Hey, MCM. Yes, I am attempting to cook, and I have been kind of going on about chins and her ridiculosity. So, I'm making mini apple pie. So, I might have rolled this a little bit big, because what you want to do is, yeah, I rolled it out a little bit too much. So, this will be my practice one right here. So, yeah, it doesn't look so great. I'll do them a little smaller. So I'm going to leave this one out so I know not quite that big. Oh my God, this is such a mess. I'll take a picture of what this place looks like. Are there any videos? Hey, Princess Alyssa, thank you. Nobody reminded me to take down my smoke alarm. I'm preheating the oven. We knew this was coming. This thing doesn't go off because of smoke. It goes off because of heat. So, yeah. So in the future, remember to remind me to turn that thing off or it's going to go off. Let's see. Hello, Patricia? Okay. Sorry about the noise. All right. Gonna go with that. I don't even think I need to really even roll them out. Yeah, I don't even need to roll out much. I just kind of squish it up the side. It's better than trying to roll it out. So I'll just do that instead. Okay. I don't know. Is there anything else that we need to cover? Everybody just keeps smack talking. Like I said, hey, learning to live. Good to see you. That's the second smoke detector detecting heat. That's why I do these lives, to check my smoke detectors. Okay. I'm trying to think, are there any videos we need to watch? I can throw one up while I get these done. I'm just trying to think. Yeah, holy moly, I told you. Drop a like for the uncles. Exactly. Yeah, is there anything we need to watch? I'll remind everybody, go watch my short from today. I was really proud of myself. I kept laughing. It's really hard to film videos when you keep laughing at your own jokes. Hey, thanks, Stacks. I'm going to check those smoke detectors. Yeah, and that's just it. Like, I won't give Chantal a direct view. So here's my standard little social media currency. You have social media currency. Your view is worth money. And so my opinion is you want to use it wisely. So I will never give Chins a view because I just won't, you know, because that's giving her money. So sometimes I don't get to see things as timely as I want. Sometimes I have to wait for other people to clip them. I get really frustrated because, like, I like to sometimes just get a quick recap, and I don't always have time for like a 6-hour live stream. You know, sometimes I just want to know what Chin said, you know, but sometimes it's fun to get in the comment section and just smack talk too, because, you know, we're a community here. Do I think I'm better than Chantal? No. I don't think I'm better than anybody. Do I think I have a much firmer grasp on reality? Yeah. You know? It's part of being an adult. Adulting. Put on your big girl panties. Take responsibility for your actions. You know, and salad, like on the front end, I kind of felt bad, like the scammer gets scammed, but yeah, the more salad runs his mouth, yeah, he's going to get what he deserves. And I'm here for it. Let's see. Thank you, Megan. Oh, thank you, Rip Curl. Yeah, everybody. Hey, Big Ol' Mama. Patricia Burns, good to see ya. So, yeah, and for anybody that missed the beginning, go back and look, because like I said, I reviewed all the notes. Yeah, we didn't, I'm just trying to see if I've got any other new photos. I showed the Parmesan cheese. That was last time where we talked about she couldn't fit through the door at the hotel. All the excuse she makes. Oh, and then the other thing. Oh, I don't have screenshots, but how she's talking about she's getting that place to make her meals, and it's so fresh, and it's homemade, and blah, blah, blah. And she said something like, oh, it's only $100 Kuwaiti or something, but she's getting it a month at a time. And she said something like $100. I think if at a minimum, it's at least $100 a week, period. You know? So, yeah, and nothing changes as nothing changes. So Chin's just gonna, and I'm sure for a while she'll film herself and pretend she likes the food, but, you know, her mindset hasn't changed. She's taken no responsibility. You know, we all know how these fast food funerals go. That thing that she ate today, that chicken royale or whatever, that thing had like 3 times the amount of salt a human should eat in a day. I'm curious how that non-alcoholic fatty liver disease is going. And a lot of times at night, how people be like, she looks glazed, she must be high. I'll tell you what, the Venus is a hell of a drug, you know. Anybody that's spent any time in an ambulance or been around a true diabetic, when blood sugars get really high or really low, people start acting off, almost like they're high. So I think that's what's going on with her. She's going to be lucky if she doesn't blow a gasket in that heat, you know. Let's see. I'm just rambling on. Sorry, guys. I'm not even looking at... I'm kind of looking at chat. I don't care how much Chantal makes. Monetarily, I know she's not happy. Yeah, that's just it. You know, she can say whatever she wants. You know, I can say I'm the most beautiful woman on the planet, but I know factually that's not true. You know, so yeah, but this is what happens when somebody is not told no their entire life. When you enable people, when you allow people to be the worst version of themselves and let it continue, you know, I blame her family just as much. Like, you know, she has almost nobody left in her life. And I don't know how her family feels. Maybe they're just bad. I don't know. But I know for a fact you can love somebody but not like them. You know? And she's, our friends. And she even said, like, when Salad called her out the other night, last night when she was streaming, and because she said, we had friends over. And then she said later in that stream, well, that they were Salad's friends. So what I think happened is maybe he did have some people over, you know, but she probably slept through the whole thing because she's awkward, you know. So that's what I think, you know. I don't think she has any friends over there, you know. Chins doesn't want to hang out with any women. She hates women. Learning to live. Hello. Hopefully I said hello when you first got here. So, okay. So, well, I'm probably going to wind down here in just a minute because, like I said, I have rambled about everything I wanted to ramble about. I went over my notes. I'll let everybody have some fun in the chat for a few more minutes so while I fill these. So you guys just go ahead. If anybody just got here, go back to the beginning because we do review the notes. In fact, I do more talking than cooking in this one. Oh, I messed up. So, all right. So for anybody that doesn't have canned, you know, their homemade canned apple pie filling like I have, like 2.5 cups apples. I like tart apples, you know. I get the skin off, so like 2.5 cups apple, like 1/4 cup sugar, teaspoon of vanilla, teaspoon of cinnamon, maybe a little less if you're not big on cinnamon, 1/8 of a teaspoon, which is like a pinch of nutmeg, pinch of salt, little tiny sprinkle of flour. You're probably going to want a couple tablespoons of flour to help thicken it up. Yeah, I can't think of anything else. Let's see, preheat the oven to 425, right? Yeah, that's... So I'm trying to see if I have any more pictures to show. Let's see, I showed that, but yeah, this was Chantal's face back when she was supposedly at nearly her highest weight. That right there was Chantal when she was at her highest weight. So you cannot tell me for a second that she has lost any weight. Sorry, not sorry. Okay. I'll let you guys keep chatting, and I'm going to put my pie filling. Oh, I need to do the tops too. Darn it. Let's see. This is going to be a mess. Yeah, she's definitely in her highest weight now. Nobody can change my mind. Is Orange's leaving? Oh no. Okay, so yeah, I know I'm cutting directly on the counter. I'm being really careful. I don't want to break out a cutting board. Everything's such a mess in here. Well, I'm going to first put this in and then I'll cut those. Let's see. So, I don't know. Yeah, I don't want to overcook this, so I'll just start out like 2/3 of a quarter of a cup. I don't know how much that is. A little more than 2 tablespoons I'm putting in. I just licked my finger, so now I can't use this hand until I wash it. Let me get my Chantal notebook out of the way and mark it so that way my next rant I know where I'm at. Let's see. Oh, thanks, Rip Curl. Yeah, I hope so. Mr. Grebo, he was dropping hints because when it gets hot, I'm not going to do a ton of cooking. We don't have AC, so. I have a floor AC unit to set in the bedroom, though, because it's just getting hot at night, where it's like sticky. Ugh. And people are like, you don't know what hot is. Oh, no, I've lived on the East Coast plenty. I know what hot is. Okay. Oh, I think I'm going to make a couple more because these are getting a little full, so. Yeah, I'll have enough to do like 1, maybe 2 more, because I don't want to overfilm because they bubble up and they spill over, which I do every single time I make something, and then I'm like, oh, don't let me do that next time, guys. So I'll make a couple more. So, unless I cut it up, and then I can't. So let's go like this. Oh, if there's going to be room to make 1 more. Yep. And then the top, I'm just going to cut it up and throw it over the top. I don't care. Sorry, not sorry. Sorry about the clinging too. Or the clanging. Oh, what happened, oranges? I'm sorry if something bad happened. Hey, Layla G, welcome. I am making mini apple pies, and we are discussing May 25th through the current Chantal, through the live. I had a bunch of notes, so, and now we're just chit-chatting. I'll go back through too. I'll rewatch this because I look to see how my volume and if I'm yelling, and I'll read the chat, so I'll get a read. If you said something in the chat, I'll rewatch this so I can go watch the chat and make sure, I see what everybody says. It's just really hard when you're trying to talk. Like, I can't even walk and chew gum. There's no way I can talk and read and cook. It's just, those are not skills I possess. Individually, yes. All at the same time, not so much. Like I said, I can't even walk and chew gum at the same time. It's a struggle. Okay. Filling up this. I probably could have put the applesauce thing up a little bit higher in here, but meh. It's good enough. Okay. That one, I gotta make sure everybody's kind of equally filled. Okay. That's pretty good. Yeah. I wouldn't kick that out of bed for eating crackers. That was good. Okay. Okay, so I got them filled up. I need to put something over the top. Let me wash my hands real quick because I just grabbed a blob off the counter. Sorry about the water noise. Okay. Ouch. I meant to do that. All right. I am going to put a tiny little sprinkle of, where's my, of my organic turbinado sugar. It's basically cane sugar. I'm going to sprinkle that right over the top, so then we have a nice little like sugary crust directly underneath the pie top I'm going to put on. Do you need to do this? No, but it is a dessert. Okay, let's see. Hey, Minka, good to see you. We're kind of starting to wind down. I said hi to Beagle Mom. We're starting to wind down, but I think we did a pretty good job of being pretty clear and concise of notes, group conspiracy theories. And like I said, if you disagree with something I said or something, yeah, say in the comments so we can continue this conversation. Am I a Chantal expert? Compared to a lot of new people in girl world, yeah, but, you know, am I the end-all be-all? No. Do I know everything? No. Am I willing to admit when somebody points out something that's factually incorrect? No problem. Everybody's entitled to their opinion, man. It's cool. So, okay. Oh, shoot. Okay. I think we've got enough little bit. Like I said, it looks like I'm adding a lot. I'm adding like 6 grains each time I sprinkle it. I'm not putting little lumps of butter in like with normal apple pie. You know, you throw a little butter in. I'm not doing it with this because these are mini. I didn't put any lemon juice in this because these are not fresh apples. They're canned apples, so I don't have to worry about them browning. Not worried about how they look. They're mush. I like cinnamon, sugar, and nutmeg. You know, some people don't like nutmeg in their apple pie. Some people like it real sweet. You know, just play with it. Okay. That I literally could have done that twice as fast if I had just gone, you know, put a little more in. You can always add more ingredients, but once you've added too much to something, you can never, you know, when baking, you can't get it back out. So, okay, close up my sugar. Let's see. Okay, now I need to figure out. I don't want to do a ton of top, if that makes sense. I'll do little crosses. How's that sound? It doesn't matter. It's all going to get eaten and digested. So let's see. So I'll just do. Yeah, I probably should have planned this out better. Welcome to my life. Okay. I'll finish this, and then, yeah, I might not even, this is going to take forever, so we'll start winding down. I'm not doing brownies tonight. We did this. Can anybody think of anything we need to discuss before I sign off? I'm not ignoring anybody, so you guys can keep chatting and chat for right now while I do this, unless somebody thinks of some new point. And, yeah. Like I said, next time maybe we'll have a video or something to watch, but I've shown my pictures. I do think, though, that, like that face spank she wears, I don't think she might have 2 of those, but the pilling on that face spanks that she wears, it's getting really pronounced. I think that thing probably looks pretty rough, IRL. I really do. I don't think, you know, the filters can hide a lot of stuff. I don't think she really looks all that tidy in real life. I think, you know, I don't think she has a tidy appearance to other people that meet her, you know, because she doesn't have the filters and stuff. So, yeah, I suspect she probably looks pretty rough. She doesn't have any female friends, you know. She took, that first time they went out hunting, camping in the desert, we know how that worked out, right? She sat on her ass, she made excuses, and, you know, wanted to hang out with the men, and the wives just didn't want, they're done with her, you know. And then she got online, was smack talking Allah's wife because she's a thin, pretty woman. I think Chantal was jealous. So, yeah. So, I don't think she's going to be making any friends over there. Yeah, Blondie. Oh, bye, Grateful. Hey, Snarky, good to see you. Thank you for showing up. We've got all the conspiracy theories back at the beginning. We're getting ready to sign off. Thanks for being here, Grateful Life. Ugh, Mr. Grebo's home, and I'm really going to have to go. He's working swing. So, okay, I'm going to finish doing this off camera. So, yeah. If you just got here, thank you for showing up. Rewind it because I do review about the last month worth of notes, if anybody's wondering. Ugh, I am dropping stuff everywhere. I'm making little tiny mini apple pies. They look terrible, but they're going to taste amazing because I canned up the apple pie filling myself. Yeah, we went over pictures. We went over my notes. Chantal, still an animal neglecting, terrible person that's incredibly disingenuous and is trying to rewrite her own history? Abso-fucking-lutely. You know? She just happens, Chantal, she's a terrible human being who just happens to be morbidly obese. She could be a skinny legend and she'd still be a raging asshat. She, you know, at this point, I just truly believe some people are just born bad. And I just really feel that this has been her character. You know, she's gotten comfortable and we're now seeing who she truly is. Like I said at the beginning, when somebody tells you who they are, believe them. So, I'm going to say goodbye to everybody. Yeah, home canned feelings are the best. So, yeah, please hit the like button. Yeah, great chat. I'm going to try to do within the next 2 or 3 weeks another live. So, yeah, if you just got here, go ahead and rewind because we do go over some good stuff, good points. So thank you, Snarky Priest. Thank you, Dex. Thank you, Holy Moly. Thank you, Holy Moly, for modding. Princess Alyssa, thank you. Clark E, good to see you. Yeah, hit the replay because, and like if we say something that you completely agree with or completely disagree with, let me know in chat because I can't be all places at all time. So some of the other Chantal historians in here, if you could please let me know in the comments if I remembered something wrong or you think I've got a fact wrong, please let me know. So, goodbye, Leanie Bo. Thanks for being here, Jashawn. Thank you, Ruthie. Thank you, Clark E. Thank you, Dex. Thanks, Ponderous Pros. Thank you, Violet64. Thank you, Beagle Mom. Thank you, EP. Thank you, Megan Fox. Good to see you. Grateful Life. Thank you. I know you already left, but if you rewatch this, Harmony for Life was here. Thank you. Let's see. Yep. Thanks, Princess Alyssa. Thank you, Blondie. Did I miss anybody? Oranges, Poranges. I think they left. If not, thank you. Goose Chuck was here. Thank you, Goose Chuck. Thank you, Loyal Warrior. All right. Leanie Bo. All right. Did I miss? Necessita. Yep. Replay Gang. Thank you for being here. Violet. All right, you guys. Thank you. Give me a couple more weeks because I suspect, so I think we're not going to get McRages because she can't do that in the Middle East, but I do think we're going to be getting a lot of these overly snarky, sugary, sweet, saccharine Chantal live streams. That's her new rage. So I'm going to start taking more notes. Okay. All right. Thanks everybody. I'll talk to you soon. Bye. I don't know how to turn this off. Oh no. Okay. Bye. Bye, everyone.